Violent clashes between Turkey-backed militia intensify. What is happening in the occupied areas north of Aleppo? Amidst the ongoing occupation of northern Syria by Turkey and its financed and supported armed groups, violent clashes have erupted between different oppositional militias in the countryside of Afrin. The region of northern Syria has constantly witnessed upheavals, violent attacks and barrages, which further escalated in the course of Turkey's announcement to launch a new military invasion under the pretext of establishing a so-called security zone, which should serve the purpose of facilitating the repatriation of Syrian refugees. In fact, the most recent hostilities that broke out between various armed oppositional factions, which priorly has coalesced into the Syrian National Army (SNA), officially established under the auspices of Turkey, have caused numerous civilian casualties and severely injured dozens.
مو حرام انتم اهل سفير على اساس ما بتخافوا على هالمناظر هيك مناظر هالولاد هالختايره هدول اللي صار يسحب زحف ما بقى يقدر يمشي لك مو حرام.
Following the bloody skirmishes that took place in the countryside of Afrin, the oppositional extremist organization Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which has succeeded Jabhat al-Nusra, an Al-Qaeda offshoot and internationally designated terrorist organization, is attempting to seize control of these areas by mobilizing 300 military vehicles and using heavy and medium weaponry, after several armed factions such as جيش الشرقية, أحرار الشرقية, and Fayliq al-Sham recently withdrew, were formerly concentrated in the North Syrian villages of Deir Balut, Tal Salur, Jilma, Jenderiz, Basur, Basufan, Aindara, and Barad, which Hayat Tahrir al-Sham now aims to occupy and take control of, while other extremist militias, such as Jaish al-Islam, seek to prevent the expansion of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham's sphere of influence and control. Northern Syrian areas that are currently administered by Turkey-backed armed militias have constantly experienced abominable human rights violations and severe war crimes, including extrajudicial killings, abduction and physical abuse, perpetrated against the local civilian population in clandestinely run torture prisons. In addition, Turkish President Erdogan currently announced his intention to repatriate Syrian refugees into these perilous areas. Even though the Turkish state has massively contributed to the current chaos within the areas of northern Syria and supported the creation and financing of these armed oppositional militias, President Erdogan has remained silent on the most recent violent clashes between those armed groups that formerly constituted the Syrian National Army. Therefore, the split of the Turkey-backed Syrian National Army (SNA) into several adversary factions has aggravated the plight and destitution of North Syrian civilian residents and displayed the heterogeneous and particular interests the adversary splinter groups are pursuing, which precipitated the fragmentation of the SNA. The unprecedented outbreak of the most recent hostilities will likely continue to intensify in the following days, leaving Afrin's inherent population in anguish and constant fear.